What's happening, everybody? This is Steve, and welcome back to Junkdrummer TV, where I give my initial reactions, my hot takes, and my analysis on the drummers of today and yesterday, and maybe tomorrow if I stick around that long. I am a professional drum teacher and a gigging musician, and I have been those things for the last 20 years. So, today is August 29th, and you know what that means, Tool fans? Tomorrow is the debut of the new Tool record. I feel like this is one of the most anticipated records, if like not the most anticipated record of the last like 20 years. I know that I was really anticipating the new Raconteurs record because they took a little time between records. I love that band, you should check them out. But we've been waiting for 13 years, since 10,000 Days, for new Tool, and finally tomorrow we're gonna have it. This new record, I think, feels like a swan song, unfortunately. I can't see them releasing a new record in another 13 years, because that's going to put some of them, like, in their 60s, like, well into their 60s. But if they record a new record, I think it'll be something that will come pretty quickly after this one. I think if we don't see a new Tool record in the next 2 or 3 years after this one, I think this is it. Now, because it's so anticipated and the hype has been up for so long, I'll be honest, Tool fans, I'm kind of scared that this will be a letdown. I have listened to the first single once, and I really liked it. It was really long, and it was very challenging. And I think that's what Tool's going to do with this new record, is they're going to force their fans to shut up and sit down and really listen intently to a 9-10 minute song, because I'm pretty sure like there's 7 songs, and all of them are over 9 or 10 minutes. Hopefully, everything is going to be awesome tomorrow, and I can't wait to stream it. As soon as I get my first YouTube check, I'm going to buy the albums, which I know will be expensive. But Tool really does a great job with the packaging of all of their records. The art and all the extra things that come with the records, they're really good about that. If you've been watching my channel at all, you know that I've already done Danny Carey. He's actually episode 3. Please go check that out. It's him playing Stinkfist. And I know a lot of my commenters have been asking about doing other drummers again, and I will be. I'll definitely be doing Travis Barker, definitely going to be doing Carter Beauford again. I don't know if I'm going to do Neil Peart again, because I don't know if I can go through the abuse of pissed off Rush fans for not saying that Neil Peart can cure cancer or whatever, like, great thing that people want you to say about Neil to let them know how much you like him. I do love Neil. I have that right there. So anyway, I've done Danny Carey, and I'm only doing this episode because it's kind of a celebration of tomorrow, because we've been waiting. So I got to shut up now, because this song is 7.5 minutes long. This is going to end up being a long video, so please stick with me. Fooling with something to the left. I don't know if that's like a mixer for other instruments. That'd be great to have your own mixer, so you know exactly what level you want everything. Now, right here, there's going to be a lot of stopping in this video. Trigger warning, commenters. This is a very common Tool intro. It's repetitive. It's almost like a meditation, and it's designed to kind of put you in a trance as a listener. Now, us Tool fans know that once you get into that trance, they're going to like punch you in your soul with a spiked baseball bat, so you know that's coming too. All their unison hits are never on the one, it feels like. Everything is syncopated. Everything's on an E or an O. Okay, this is a great thing that you can learn from Danny Carey. When we think about our hi-hat, we think about our hi-hat being either, loose and what I call, sloshy, or tight. Now, most of the time you think about hi-hat changes when your hi-hat is tight, and then you think about, doing an opening, making it sloshy. And that's kind of the default that we all go with. Danny Carey does something really sneaky and cool with his hi-hats. He's doing it right here. He starts out with them sloshy, and he's getting that, what I call like a wet sound, and then cutting it and making it tight again and getting what I call like a dry sound. So it's almost like this like reverse engineering way to use the hi-hat. Check this out. right there. I love these kind of grooves. I call them Stephen Perkins grooves because he played a lot of these kind of things in Jane's Addiction. Oh, the audio lowered. I'm going to have to fix that in post. Hopefully I can. So before he gets into this, real quick, what he was just doing there, he's playing a very common way of doing what I call like these jungle grooves. It's just a thing I call them when you're using, lots of toms in the groove. What he's doing there is almost playing note for note rhythmically with what the bass player is doing. There's kind of two ways to go about doing this. You can do that, what he's doing right here. He is just strengthening every bass guitar note by playing the exact rhythm, putting a little bit of embellishment in there. That's one way to do it. He does it a lot. And another way to do it when you're doing these what I call jungle grooves like this is just take the bass part and then outline it and highlight notes that they're playing. When you do it this way, it makes it really like base of the Empire State Building strong. It's a real good base to build the song on. Right there's that hi-hat closing. So he's going backwards. The only other person I can think of doing that was Jimmy Chamberlain in the Smashing Pumpkins did it a lot. Even though he's playing really strong, he's always just so relaxed. His technique is beautiful. You can definitely tell he studied. I think someone told me in the last comment section of the last one that he went to Missouri, maybe? I know he wears Kansas jerseys a lot. I think he's from Kansas. So there's that same just backing up the bass player, playing every note almost with the bass player. These grooves are real easy to rush. The more notes you play, it's easier to rush. Ha! Ha! That's almost a rhythm to End the Air Tonight. Right there. I never noticed that. See right there, da-da-da-da-da-dow. It's on an E or an All their unisons, they very rarely come in on the one. Here's something that he does better than just about anybody. Fusion guys are really good about this. This is another, example of how much more advanced he is than your standard metal drummer. Trigger comments, I know. But he hides his odd times better than anybody. Man, I hate when, well, I love it, but I hate it when my students come in and are like, let's learn this Tool song. I'm like, shit, I'm going to have to really work hard today to try to find out and figure out what times they're in. He really hides the fact. Like, I always give this example. When you play in 7/8, playing 7/8 like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's a very obvious 7/8 groove because you're coming in and putting that 1 right on the 1. Man, when he's playing Hard Times, man, it's almost impossible to figure it out because he doesn't structure it with that hard 1 in between every measure. And it gives you this kind of disconcerting, floating feeling when you're listening to it because you're not laid down on that 1. Man, that ride cymbal is harsh. I'm pretty sure he uses pasties. That's just a real heavy, like 2002 or something. You gotta have that kind of, 30-second notes, just so smooth. But you've gotta have a ride cymbal like that when you play with a band that has so much distortion for it to cut. I know I'm talking a lot, and I don't know why people just don't automatically think this, but I have the original video in the description. If you want to listen to this without my nonsense. Double stroke rolls. There it is, man. You want to know why you should learn all those rudiments? That's a great example. So here again, we've been fucking with you for the last 3.5 minutes. Now they're going to bring it back down. Give the listener a time to breathe. and then put you in that trance again. Yeah, these videos, now the volume's back up. Hope I can fix that in post. Here it is, man, putting you in that trance, and we know that the spiked baseball bat's coming for your soul here in a minute. This groove, it's so fucking difficult. So he's playing, excuse me, he's playing, you know, like a some sort of ostinato pattern in his right hand, so he's not running 16th notes. Then he's varying the hi-hat openings, and they're not just standard anch, and there's on E's and U's and ands, and it's mega syncopated. Then he's playing that 2 and 4 on the snare drum, and then playing some other patterns on the bass drum. If you want to know why he is an elevated practitioner of this form, this is the groove. Yeah, man, that'd take me the rest of my life to get that tight. That's jazz independence is what that is. You can get that kind of independence being really good at Latin rhythms too. This guy has studied. You don't wake up in the morning and play these things. Man, that groove will keep me up all night tonight. I haven't listened to Lateralus in a while. I'm just such a huge fan of Anima. I listen to Anima and 10,000 Days mostly. Yeah, I'll be up all night trying to figure that out. And I probably won't get it. See, you can play those 30-second notes with power and still be smooth. And that smoothness comes out in the playing. Yeah, buddy. Get you some of that. Real quick, and this goes out to the Lars Ulrich commenters. I did a video of him. It was called Lars Ulrich Fails. It didn't really go well for me, for those people who really still like Metallica. But man, a lot of those people were giving him excuses because he's 55. And, you know, it was a lot of like, oh, you know, he's getting older. And, you know, he's been doing it for 30 years and he's blah, blah, blah. Okay, people. Now, this is an old video, and there was footage in the one that I just did with Lars, and it was all old video. He's 58 now. He's 3 years older than Lars. Lars has never played anything like this in his life. Very few people have, to be fair. Oh, so good. Man. See, like, even he inverts the Bonham lick. That's the Bonham lick that everybody plays, but he inverts it with his hand, with his left to right hand, going from the snare drum to the tom, and tom to the snare drum. Check that out. I'm gonna bring that back a little bit. That's a little too far. There's double such again. But yeah, he's gonna do this Bonham lick, and it's gonna be the hardest version of it. Right there. Right there. That's a beautiful use of his double bass. He hasn't touched that double bass since right there. Oh. Man, I've got to listen to Lateralus again. So, right here, this is a $5 music school word. What's going on right here is polymeter. What's happening is the band is playing in 3/4, and the drummer, Danny Carey, is playing in 4/4. If you've heard Kashmir by Led Zeppelin, that's the trick they're doing. So what's happening is you're playing as a drummer, you're going 1, 2, 3, 4. The phrase of the rest of the band is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's laying over top of your 4/4. After 12 beats, it lines up on the 1. So here's what's happening right there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. And right there is where it lines back up. That's an adult dose. That is advanced Sunday school, people, because you don't really see it that much. You see it in fusion stuff. They do that stuff all the time. But in like music like this, and this is just another example of them just elevating the form. Bands, next time you're in practice with your band and they start playing something in 3/4, play 4/4 over top of it and watch your guitar player fall down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's what the band's playing right there. I've been thinking a lot about him lately, like all Tool fans. Yeah, this video is just stopping in places. I have it downloaded, so it's not that it's the internet. But I've been thinking a lot about Danny Carey and his style, and I love trying to connect styles with musicians. If you've ever hit a gong as hard as you can, there are few feelings in this world better than standing in front of a gong that you just smashed the shit out of. And if you notice, he was so slick. He put that stick, he put one stick right here, picked up the gong mallet, smashed it, dropped it, picked the drumstick back up, and didn't miss it. So let me finish that last thought. I've been trying to think about who he really sounds like, and man, the only drummer that I think that he has a lot of his characteristics from, obviously it's a bigger hitter version of him, is Bill Bruford. And if you know anything about them, you know that they love King Crimson. But yeah, Bill Bruford plays like this, but more jazz, like a jazz version of it. He's kind of taking Bill Bruford's, woo, man, those double stops right there to do them that fast. Chops. But yeah, he's taken Bill Bruford's style and, you know, made it heavier and more devil's geometry. I like those things, kind of sound like timpani rolls. Played double bass, I think, once through that whole time, and it was for this one certain drum fill, and it just elevated it. I like that kind of use. Yeah, even he'll do a little crossover fancy stuff for the fans. But yeah, that double bass lick that happens in that drum fill, it elevated everything because he hadn't done that double bass up until that point. So yeah, man, Danny Carey and Tool, tomorrow is the day, Tool fans. Are they going to save us from the worlds of Katy Perry's and Justin Timberlake's? Or are they going to disappoint us with the overindulgences that sometimes comes with age? I really hope it's the first. Danny Carey, Tool, tomorrow, baby, tomorrow. Fear inoculum. Go get it. Live with it. And man, I hope it rules. Man, I hope it rules. If you enjoyed all of that, please feel free to like, comment, and share, and give me a double tap on the subscription and the notification bell. And remember, listen to Tool tomorrow. You know what? Tool should be given like a key to the earth tomorrow by like all of the world's leaders. Is that extreme? And keep practicing until it's easy.